Well, today is my Weight Watcher weigh-in day. After coming home from my glorious weekend in Atlanta, indulging, the scales were not kind to me. I had a weight gain, pretty significant, which I expected because I did indulge and eat, and having some water retention. I'll get it off. I'm not concerned, but I was up 2.6 pounds. 2.6 pounds! And really, I didn't think I did that bad this weekend. I could have done a lot worse, but I do know some of it is water retention, and I did switch over to the new Blue program, which I still love. I think it's great. But again, I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday of eating foods that my body's not used to, and I think it just kind of went like, woo! But I did notice yesterday and today that, my joints feel a little bit stiff, so I know I have some water retention, but it's okay because this is real life, and this is all about keeping yourself in the best mindset of not being discouraged and not beating yourself up. Because listen, let me tell you something. I had a great weekend this past weekend. It was a retreat for me. It was relaxing. It was everything I wanted it to be and then some. And so I chose the foods I ate, and I also chose the foods I was not going to eat, or I wasn't going to overindulge. So I feel that this is truly, life. You just have to be able to pull the reins back in and just go, well, I just got to get right back on it, which I did after my breakfast at Callie's buttery biscuit shop and ate what I wanted there and loved it. That was my last meal of overindulging into foods that are very fatty, very high in carbs, very high in calories. And then the next meal, got right back on track. Yesterday, I had a great day with lots of good vegetables and salads, and so I know I'm back on track, but it's one of those things that I think can easily sabotage your way of thinking, because I could have walked out of there and said, oh, great, now I'm just, another, 7 pounds to my goal weight instead of 5. But I know next week this will come off, and the weight I will take off for this week. So you have to not beat yourself up, and you have to not sabotage your thinking, because it's very easy once you start to get off track to just tell yourself, okay, big deal, big deal. I mean, I could have made even worse choices by continuing to overeat, and I never felt like any meal I really overate. Well, with the exception of at the Mexican restaurant, I actually had we actually got into the second basket of chips. Now, I should have had that mindset of count your chips out, give yourself a portion size, and eat your food. But that particular meal, more so than the Cheesecake Factory meal, that particular meal, I ended up, I would say what would be an overeating, because I ate way more chips than I should have. And that is very high in sodium. And so my body really isn't used to that much sodium, because I just don't eat or overindulge in that kind of saltiness. And so, you have to be able to go back and look at what you tracked, and also look at it in your mind's eye. What can I do differently? What can I change next time? Especially when you have a weekend of, fun and eating planned. Okay, what's the best thing to do? Yes, ask for the to-go box at the beginning of the meal. As soon as your meal comes, split it in half. I could have done that very easily, did I? No. And, portion out if you're sharing bread or chips or something like that. And just tell yourself, this is the amount that I really should have if I want to stay in that track. But it's this week. I have never, since I've been on this program since February, ever had a gain like this. So I'm sure some of it has to do with, some water retention, because I do not think I ate that over budgeting calorie amount per day. But your body is, just has to adjust, and, you got to get back in it. And I kind of knew yesterday my joints felt pretty stiff, so I sort of felt like, ooh, I'm retaining some water. So what do I do to get myself back in gear again? Drink lots of fluids, clear liquids, to really push that out. Back on the meal plan, making sure I document everything, and just set my mind towards my next bite, my next meal, and get back on into the success. So that's the story for this week, guys. Good or bad, I promised that I would always be honest and truthful about my weight loss and, what the scales said or what the scales say. And, I try to go to Weight Watchers by, wearing the same type of clothing so that I can get, a good idea that every week it's always the same. I do have a sweater on today, and it's a long one, and, it's not going to make any difference on the scale. So it's not like I had heavy jeans on or anything like that. It's truly what my body weighs today. So, back on track, good mindset. Disappointed? No, because I had such a wonderful weekend, and it was so relaxing, and it was just so needed. I needed it, but I'm not at all disappointed, because it's all part of it. So this is what I'm going to be learning on maintenance. This is what I'm going to be striving to really get into my head, that this is a lifetime commitment. This is an everyday eating food commitment. This is a good health commitment. Okay, were my choices for food this week healthy ones? No. But I'm not doing it all the time either. And that's what I'm learning. And I'm especially learning